This week we have a lot of lead-up news to E3. We have a whole bunch of game announcements, news on Activision versus former Infinity Ward heads trial, EA stealing an idea from Activision, and did I mention we have a bunch of game announcements leading up to E3? Let's get right to it. I'm Handsome Tom and welcome to the Game Heroes Weekly News. In case you didn't know, E3 is coming up on a Monday and the announcements are already starting to pop up. Konami made a couple of announcements about the Castlevania series. The first game, which will be the cover story of the next issue of Nintendo Power, is the upcoming 3DS title Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate. Set in the same universe as the 2010 console title Lords of Shadow, it'll be a 2D side-scroller similar to the other handheld Castlevania games. Playable characters include Trevor and Simon Belmont, and apparently the story jumps between the two in time. The second upcoming game is Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, the official follow-up to the 2010 series reboot. A teaser trailer featuring the now vampire Gabriel Belmont kicking an entire enemy's ass, as well as a mysterious white-haired figure at the end of the video. Alucard, anyone? Both Castlevania games are expected to be out in 2013 and expect a whole lot more news about them at E3. A couple of weeks ago, developer Crystal Dynamics said they're delaying the much-anticipated Tomb Raider reboot until next year. The reason they gave was to make sure the game is the best the studio has ever released, so they want to make sure they give it enough development and polish. I can dig that reason. Well, it looks like the announced release date is now March 5th, 2013. Looks like next winter and spring is filling up with a lot of AAA releases. The studio also plans to show off the current build of the game at E3, so we'll soon have a good look at Lara's new adventure. Surprise, surprise, it looks like there's another Gears of War title on the way. Will it be Gears 4 or a side story? We probably won't find out until the Microsoft E3 press conference, but what we do know is the game is being made by Bulletstorm developer People Can Fly. Will the game move from third person to first person like Bulletstorm? I guess we find out this week. Well, we've been reporting on speculation on Dead Space 3 for a few months now, and what do you know, it looks like we were right on. EA announced the game this week as it leads up to E3. They haven't said much else, but they say they'll show more at the press conference on Monday. EA also released a brief video featuring a man named John Carver, who's rumored to be the Isaac Clarke's co-op partner in the third game. A couple of screenshots were also leaked showing off Isaac and who can assume is Carver on the much-rumored ice planet where the game is supposed to take place. I guess we'll have everything straightened out about the game when it's finally shown. Well, it looks like the Activision versus the creators of Modern Warfare 2 lawsuit has been settled, just days before it went to court. Reporters say both parties met behind closed doors for days to reach a settlement before the trial. Activision released the following statement: all parties due to the litigation have reached a settlement of the dispute, the terms of which are strictly confidential. Infinity Ward's head Jason West and Vince Zampella were both fired by Activision following the Modern Warfare 2 release in 2009. The pair were then picked up by a rival publisher, EA, and proceeded to file a lawsuit against Activision for $1 billion for wrongful termination and unpaid bonuses. Well, there we go. The drama's over between these two parties. Who's willing to bet that West and Zampella are a whole lot richer now? Speaking of EA, it looks like they're stealing a page out of Activision's book of making money. Rumors have been floating around EA is planning to launch a Battlefield Premium service. The company has since confirmed the service and will formally announce its features at the E3 press conference. Reports say it's pretty much mirrors Activision's Call of Duty Elite subscription service, which currently has over 10 million registered users and 2 million subscribers. Like Elite, Battlefield Premium subscribers will have access to all the current feature and future DLC releases, as well as access to a unique in-game knife, a variety of exclusive soldier and weapon cameos, and other perks like queue priority into servers and exclusive double XP weekends. The price for the service hasn't been mentioned, but it's believed to be $50 a year. So there you have it, big name publishers copying one another and another way to get money out of your pocket. If you're not used to it yet, folks, you will soon enough be. HD remakes and collections have been all the rage this console generation, from God of War to Splinter Cell. A lot of big name titles from last generation has been upscaled and resold as HD collections. They must be selling pretty well, as everyone seems to be wanting to do the same thing. Well, it looks like id Software wants in on the fun as they announced Doom 3 BFG Edition, which hits store shelves this fall. The game will be optimized in 3D, featuring 5.1 surround, improved rendering and lighting. It also features a new checkpoint system and support achievements and trophies. The BFG Edition will also include the Resurrection of Evil add-on pack and will have 7 all-new missions called the Lost Mission. If that's not enough for you, the game also includes Doom 1 and 2. It sounds like a pretty sweet package. The release date and price haven't been announced yet, but the game will be on 360, PS3, and PC. Did you like last year's Mortal Kombat reboot? Do you like DC Comics? Well, NetherRealm Studios might have a new game for you. No, it's not a follow-up to Mortal Kombat vs. DCU, but instead an all-new DC fighter called Injustice: Gods Among Us. The game will feature big-name heroes like Batman, Superman, The Flash, Wonder Woman, as well as characters like Lex Luthor, Harley Quinn, and Solomon Grundy. According to NetherRealm, the roster will be split into two categories, power and gadget characters. Power characters like Superman will be able to use their strength to fight foes, and where gadget characters like Batman will obviously rely on gadgets. Environmental hazards will apparently play a big role in the game as well. You won't get a feel for that until the studio shows a playable build of the game. Injustice Gods Among Us will launch on Xbox 360, PS3, and Wii U in 2013. No news yet if it's going to be at E3, so stay tuned. And finally, here are this week's new releases. Tuesday, we'll see the following games hit store shelves. Inversion will be out on 360 and PS3. The Madagascar 3 game will be out on 360, PS3, and DS. And Thursday, the Sims 3 add-on Katy Perry's Sweet Treats will be available on PC. Interesting. For more kick-ass content, check out our coverage of E3 with Angry Joe and Jew Wario, only on thegameheroes.com. I'm Handsome Tom. We'll see you again next week.